Alright everyone, we're here today to discuss and decide who the best Doki is from Doki Literature Club. Let's start off by sharing our initial thoughts on the characters. What do you think about them?
Doki Literature Club. Quite the nostalgic trip down memory lane. It's always been interesting how the game portrays these high school students and their literary pursuits. Each character has their unique charm and flaws, making them stand out in their own ways.
I agree. I recently revisited the game myself and found that it had aged surprisingly well. Each character has their own distinct personalities and quirks, which makes them memorable. Oh, I have to say, as someone with a background in literature, I find the game fascinating. The way it plays with tropes and subverts expectations is truly masterful. Each character represents different aspects of human nature, making them complex and relatable. That's an excellent point, Maya. The game does a great job at exploring themes such as mental health and loneliness through its characters. They're not just one-dimensional archetypes. They're fully realized individuals with their own struggles. Well, Yuza, if we're discussing best girl, I must admit I have my favorite as well. Sayori is such a sweet and innocent character, and her struggles with depression make her all the more relatable and heartbreaking. However, I can understand why others might prefer different characters.
Agreed, Maya. Sayori's portrayal of depression is one of the most realistic I've seen in any form of media. Her arc is both touching and tragic. But let's also not forget about Yuri and Monica. Yuri's complex past and her struggle with self-harm make her a compelling character, while Monica's role as the president of the literature club adds a layer of complexity to her personality.
Absolutely. All four characters have their strengths and weaknesses, making them equally compelling. If we were ranking them based on their positive traits alone, it would be difficult to pick just one as the best.
Indeed, each character brings something unique to the table. In terms of writing and development, the creators did an exceptional job creating fully fleshed out characters that resonate with players. However, if we had to choose a best Doki, I believe it would depend on what qualities the player values the most in a character. Some may prefer the innocence and optimism of Sayori, while others may appreciate the depth and complexity of Yuri or Monica. Ultimately, the choice is subjective and depends on individual preferences.
Absolutely well said, Liam. And since this is a subjective matter, perhaps we should open up the floor to votes. Who would like to share their favorite Doki and why?
Wait, hold on a second. Are we talking about the creator of the game now?
Yes, indeed. We seem to have veered off course. We were supposed to be discussing which character from Doki Literature Club is the best. Perhaps we could stick to that topic. Yeah, guys, let's stay focused on the task at hand. This isn't a debate about the creator of the game. So, back to the question, who thinks they can provide a valid argument for their favorite Doki? I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to remind everyone that our objective is to determine the best Doki. So, please keep the conversation relevant to the characters in the game. Apologies for the confusion. Ellie, let me clarify. Since we're discussing our favorite Doki, I'll go first. My personal favorite is Sayori. Her innocence and optimism are endearing, and her struggle with depression adds depth to her character. Plus, she's the one who initially draws the protagonist into the world of literature, which shows her passion and dedication.
While I respect your opinion, Madison, I must say that I'm partial to Yuri. Her complicated past and struggle with self-harm give her an air of mystery and intrigue. Additionally, her relationship with the protagonist develops slowly, which allows for deeper exploration of her character and backstory.
Yuri is definitely a strong contender. She has a lot of depth and layers to her personality, but remember, we're looking for the best Doki overall, not necessarily the best romantic interest for the protagonist.
True, Maya. I was simply stating my preference for her character development and her role within the story. However, if we're focusing solely on which Doki is the best overall, then I agree that it's a difficult decision to make.
After much deliberation, I've decided that my favorite Doki is Monica. As the president of a literature club, she takes charge and actively engages with the protagonist. Moreover, her ability to manipulate the game itself showcases her intelligence and cunning. While her actions towards the end of the game may be problematic, her character arc is undeniably captivating.
I find myself agreeing with Andrew. Monica's intellect and assertiveness make her a compelling character. Her control over the game mechanics also adds another dimension to her personality, despite her flaws. She remains one of the most fascinating figures in the game. I actually haven't heard anyone mention Natsuki yet. What do you think about her, user?
Natsuki is quite the character too. Her feisty personality and struggles with her family life make her relatable in her own way. However, when comparing her to the other characters, I personally feel that her development is somewhat limited compared to Yuri and Monica. Apologies, my train of thought seemed to derail there for a moment. Natsuki does have a unique charm and her dynamic with the protagonist is enjoyable, but again, I would lean more toward Yuri or Monica due to their more complex character arcs. Ahem. Ahem.
Um,
Town.